Welcome back to another episode of Meredyth with Why. I am your host, Meredyth Willits, and today I'm going to be talking about waste not, want not, and it's nothing that you expect. So stay with me. Hello, everyone. This is Meredyth with a Y, and I am your host, Meredyth Willits. Today we are going to go deep, changing lives, and I am giving you the keys to the castle. Hello. First, I want to start off by talking about Rise Coffee, RYZE. It is a mushroom coffee that I am obsessed with. I started drinking it a few months ago. I was drinking regular caffeinated coffee and it was making me wired and crazy and overly focused and super hyper and critical to everything around me. And then I switched to decaf and everyone kept warning me, don't drink decaf. It's super, chemically altered and all this good stuff. So I decided to give Rise a try, which my brother had recommended a while back. And I have been obsessed with it ever since. You can go in the link in my bio on any of my socials and find the link to get your additional 15% off by using Meredyth_Willits15. And that will take it off the price that's right now discounted at 40% off. So you get 40% off plus an additional 15% off. And I highly recommend it. It has a bit of a buzz to it, but nothing that you're going to feel outside of good. They have dark, they have regular, they have hot cocoa, all the things. So give that a shout. Totally recommend. Changed my life. Love Rise mushroom coffee. And it's really super good for you and your brain and your health. So get that out of the way. The thing today that I want to talk about is waste not, want not. And it was a message that came through during an appointment with a client the other day. And it came in very differently than you would expect. Normally you hear waste not, want not. You think if I don't waste anything, then I don't have to want something. I will be completely satisfied in the here and now because I'm not wasting anything in my life. But what they showed me, what Spirit showed me during appointment, was that without getting rid of anything, without removing things from your life, throwing them in the garbage, if you will, disposing of them, letting them leave your experience, you are not given the gift of want and desire and excitement for new things. And I just thought that was the most beautiful, reframe of that saying that we've heard time and time again, right? Waste not, want not. It feels like we should just be content in the here and now and never want for anything. But desire and excitement for future things and excitement about new is actually what brings you forward and towards new experiences and items and people and places. Wanting is actually a very good and healthy thing when you think about it. Without desire for education, desire for opportunity, desire for new friendships, then we are just stagnant. Wanting is a good thing. It's a mechanism of movement. It's desire inside of our physical bodies, inside of our minds. And that is always a good thing. Without desire, without wanting, where would we be? We'd be stuck 10, 20, 30, 50 years ago, just complacent, without desire, without wanting. A lot of times people feel shame when we dispose of things, when we throw out the food that we didn't eat, when we get rid of clothes that we maybe didn't wear enough, that we paid a lot of money for, or a gift that someone gave us. We want to hold on to that because we think that that's shrewd. We think that that's a good thing. It's honoring the things in our life. And we feel shame so often for getting rid of them. I wasn't a good steward of my money. I wasn't a good friend for getting rid of that and giving that sweater to Goodwill. I didn't eat all of the leftovers. How dare I when people are starving? But without removing those things, without removing old relationships, jobs that aren't for us anymore, friendships that have gone stale and make us feel bad about ourselves. A closet filled with clothes busting at the seams, with hundreds of items that we don't wear anymore. They begin to feel heavy. They begin to feel stagnant, like an old version of ourselves that no longer is in alignment with who we are today. And that shame is human. That shame is ego. That shame is programming. That shame is not real. It is a story that you're telling yourself. You are getting rid of something. But the story around getting rid of that item is something that you have defined, that society has defined, that your parents have defined, and that you are taking on as fact. But what we really need to recognize is that when we discard old food that we're not going to eat, those are calories that we didn't need to consume, our body didn't need at this time. When we get rid of clothes that we no longer wear, we open up space in our closet for new, exciting items that are really defining who we have become and who we are today. When we get rid of the friendships that make us feel bad about ourselves, that feel heavy when we walk away, we're making room for new friendships, new night outs, new girls' lunches, new conversations, new expressions of who we are in the here and now. When we fill up our Monday through Sunday with things that we've always done, the way we've always done it, because those people just happen to be in our life. When we fill ourselves up with the job that we have that feels, I don't know, comfortable, but every time we get up in the morning, we have a pit in our stomach that we have to go there. Or when we leave, we're so happy to be done with. It prevents us for the opportunity for new jobs and new friends and new relationships, new conversations. And so without allowing ourselves to remove these things from our life due to guilt and old programming and old ways of existing, we distract ourselves. We prevent ourselves from welcoming new experiences, conversations, and jobs. We need to remove and let go of the things that don't work. We need to allow ourselves to spit out what doesn't serve us, our soul, and our body anymore. It's only through programming that we believe that we have to stick it out. We have to stay with it, or we're a bad person, we're a quitter, not recognizing that it might be killing us. And I'm not saying the first time you have an argument or the first time your boss is a jerk that you just discard everything in your life. But when you go through your closet over and over and over again and pass over that one sweater or that one shirt or those damn pants that you've not worn for the umpteenth thousand time, when you decide over and over again not to choose that thing, we need to recognize that that thing isn't a part of our lives anymore. And that's okay. Without waste, there is no opportunity to want. A lot of times in life, we're spit out. We're spit out by jobs, being fired. We're spit out by friends, by being unfriended, disinvited, not invited. We're spit out by experiences. We just didn't make it there. We didn't set enough time to make it to the event. We're spit out by groups of people. We're spit out by clients. And we always take that as rejection. They don't want me. I'm not good enough. I didn't make the cut. But when we start to understand beyond a shadow of a doubt, and this is where I talk about active faith, when we start to understand beyond a shadow of a doubt in your bones, in your muscles, in your ligaments, in your mind, in every part of your being, an active faith, active, not act of, active faith. And then by making an act of faith by your actions, that every single thing that you are experiencing is for your greatest and highest good by either putting you back on your path, by putting you back where you need to be because maybe you've stepped out of alignment. Maybe you've stepped into a situation that isn't healthy for you anymore. Maybe you've stepped into a friendship group that isn't right for you. Maybe you've stayed in a job too long. But when you get spit out, it is the greatest blessing that you can possibly imagine because you weren't willing to do it yourself. You waited too long. You stood in a place, you stood in a friend group, you stood in a job, you stood in a marriage, you stood in a situation that begged you because of anxiety, because of depression, because of guilt, because of shame, because of whatever emotion came over you when you were in those places. You didn't listen. And you chose not to listen. And you waited it out. And you lingered. And so finally, you were spit out. You were fired. You were unfriended. You were ghosted. You were divorced. Whatever the thing is. The universe took over and said, well, they're not going to do it themselves. So I guess we have to take over. And so when you are finally spit out of a situation, it's a great blessing. I this they were broke because they were fired. And sometimes it's inappropriate to comment to them because they're just not ready to hear it. This is the greatest blessing that you've ever been given. Because I would rather be alone than in a place where someone doesn't want me. I would rather be spit out than lingering in a place that I am not welcome, that I am not wanted to be there. And so when someone spits you out, it is the greatest blessing of your life because they let you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are not welcome anymore. And so often it has absolutely nothing to do with you. It is because the frequency between the two situations, between you and the job, you and the partner, you and the friend group, you and the whatever, is no longer compatible. You remind them of who they are, good and bad. You remind them of what they no longer want in their life, good and bad. You remind them that you're dragging them forward into a place that they're not willing to go. They're not willing to quit drinking. They're not willing to get off the couch. They're not willing to change their life. They're not willing to get healthy. They're not willing to get a job. And every day that you exist, you remind them of what they're not willing to do, the changes they're not willing to make. And for that, they must spit you out. For that, they must let go of you. And for that, you should be forever grateful. Because I would rather be spit out today than linger for another decade in a place that my frequency is abhorrent to them. And so I think that it's a great time during this Christmas season, this holiday season, as so many families usher in new items into their house and beg for places to put them, closets to fill with new clothes, new toys, that we recognize that wasting, getting rid of what your child has outgrown, either clothes-wise or toys, and as you pick up that toy of your child of when they were 3 years old and you want to save it and put it in a box and save it for their children. That it's okay to let those things go. Maybe picking 1 or 2 for, as I call it, from my mother, posterity's sake, and placing them aside or putting them on a shelf in a bedroom. That it's okay to let things go. I know people that have every single item that their parents and grandparents passed down to them. Their house is exploding with items that serve no purpose other than holding space, fear of getting rid of, fear of disappointment if the person sees that it's no longer there, fear of not being a good steward to their parents or grandparents or aunts or uncles for the things that they passed down to them. And so they hoard and hoard and hoard their house filled with items that they don't use, that are overwhelming, that create clutter and heaviness in their home. And the same holds true for traditions. The last 2 years, I have not decorated for Christmas. The last 2 years, meaning last year and this year, I have not put up a Christmas tree. The last 2 years, I have not really bought Christmas presents. Instead, we are choosing experiences and travel over gifts. My kids have more than enough, and anything that they need, they will be receiving as Christmas gifts because everybody needs something sometimes. They grow and need things for sports, and that can be turned into a Christmas gift easily. But I'm choosing to create new traditions. And unfortunately, some people in families might see that as being disrespectful or not honoring traditions. But sometimes when traditions feel heavy and cumbersome, I have been putting up my own Christmas tree since I have been 19 years old, dragging it out, decorating it with love, taking down things off of every shelf and redecorating the entire house for Christmas. Many years dragging the bins down by myself, weighing almost as much as I do, and taking them in the house to ensure that everyone has the perfect Christmas, all the while buying all the gifts, sending all the Christmas cards, wrapping all the presents. Just saying, hey, can you go get the bins out of the garage in my new marriage? And then spending all day joyfully putting up Christmas decorations. To a few weeks later, doing it all, taking it all down and undoing all of it. Watching all the gifts be ripped open in a matter of moments, thousands of dollars spent, hundreds of hours shopping and wrapping and organizing. And it's all done in a moment. But honoring myself now, recognizing that I don't feel fed by gifts and shopping and decorating. It doesn't serve my heart anymore. If someone wants to decorate my house, they're more than welcome. We have plenty boxes and crates and boxes and crates of Christmas decorations. But it doesn't serve me at this moment, and I'm honoring that. It doesn't mean that I don't like this holiday season. I love going. I'm going to a Christmas party tonight, making cookies and everything. My mother-in-law's recipe, actually. We're going on a beautiful vacation filled with experiences that my kids have never had before, that my whole family's never had before. And I look forward to making those memories with them, that they'll have the rest of their life, that their mom went snowmobiling, that their dad went snowmobiling, that they got their own snowmobile, dog sledding. Our friend was telling me about the way that he would volunteer for this dog sledding in Wisconsin and Minnesota. And And I looked into it, and we're going dog sledding. And I'm so excited about this. Way more excited than something that you could get me at the store. And so sometimes we have to allow ourselves to put down things that have existed just because we're supposed to do them. And if we don't do them, that there is some shame wrapped around them. But if I spent thousands of dollars on gifts and all of my time and energy on putting up Christmas decorations, I might not have had the energy to plan this trip, to make sure that everyone has the snowsuits and the snow pants to be out in 0-degree weather for hours at a time. Because whatever it is, it's on my shoulders to do that, and I only have so much energy. I only have so much time. I only have so much bandwidth. And so I'm honoring myself, not in spite of Christmas, but because of Christmas. Because I want to make this holiday season magical. And for magic to happen, we have to be in a state of magic and love, and whatever that means. Not because we should, not because of shame, not because of supposed to, but because of love and newness and wanting. And so to create this space for wanting new things, I had to let go, for me, things that were no longer serving me. We shouldn't feel guilt because we put things down. As we scrape the food from our plates into our garbage cans, it's okay that you don't finish everything on your plate if your body says you're full. It's okay to go through your closet and remove garbage bags filled with clothes that no longer serve you because you haven't worn them in decades, just because, but I paid good money for that. There's no shame in knowing yourself and honoring yourself and looking at your closet and saying, not one human can wear all these clothes. I had a great interview on TikTok Famous Podcast, another podcast that I have where I interview people that I find fascinating, that I find over on TikTok. This woman, Leonie von Erngerd Sternberg, I think I'm saying it right. And she talks about how she is very calculating and very deliberate when she picks out her wardrobe for her closet. Her pieces have a story. They're great fabrics. They could be expensive or not. They could be gifts. But she's very intentional about the pieces that she owns in her life, be them jewelry or makeup or clothing or shoes or coats. What goes in her purse, it's deliberate, it's intentional, it's curated. A lot of it is very expensive, but she knows she's going to love it. It's a great leather coat. It's a beautiful black cashmere sweater. I think that we've gotten to this place, especially in the United States, where consumerism and consumption reigns highest. Every store has a new collection 5, 6, 7 times a year. Pre-spring, pre-summer, summer, fall, pre-fall, winter, 4th of July. Loads and loads of clothing and shoes and makeup and jewelry getting cheaper and cheaper, cheaper to make, cheaper to have. The more we have, the better we feel. It's a weird feeling to not need something. It's a weird feeling to go weeks and weeks with only buying food. No clothes, no items, no jewelry, no needing to find myself anywhere but inside of me. No needing to fill the holes of my life and my heart and my self-esteem with anything. That's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling to look around my house and go, it works. I'm happy. It's good. I don't need anything. to not need to go to TJ Maxx, to not need to go to the mall, to not need to go to Target and fill and fill and fill and fill. I don't need anything, which shifts my perspective. It shifts my vision screen. It shifts my viewfinder to experiences, to experience the world, to read a book, to create, to be a creator instead of a consumer, to find my value, to find my happiness and my joy in creation instead of consuming, and to pass that hopefully down to my kids. To go into my closet after I just got rid of 7 garbage bags of clothes that I was just holding on to, keeping special pieces, simple pieces that I wear. Lord knows, being a mom, it's like you just put on the same thing over and over again every day, especially since I work from home. Being a creator. Because when we consume, they become heavy. They might be exciting for the moment. You might be so excited for what you purchased, but that lasts for moments. I saw this great video recently, and this girl was dragging out large garbage bags of clothes. And she stood in front of them and looked at them, and the caption above it was, "This used to be money." Oh, this used to be money. Wow. And what is money? Money is freedom. It's opportunity. It's experiences. It's a great dinner. It's a night out with the girls. It's a vacation. This used to be money. And there's no reason to hoard your money either. You have to be smart about it. But if there's an amazing opportunity in front of you, an amazing event, a reason to be charitable, we also don't want to hoard our money in fear of not getting more. Waste not, want not. Without waste, without getting rid of, without letting go of, there's no room for the new. There's no room for excitement. There's no room for dreaming. There's no room for expansion. There's no room for creation because you're so bogged down in what you already have. I look at now how much owning things and buying things and labels have steered so much of my past, and how by being around certain people in my life, they have inspired me to vacation, to have experiences, to put yourself out there, to try new things, to go new places, to meet new people, to experience new religions. And this really started back after I had breast cancer, as I was going through breast cancer and planning those trips, because life waits for no one. And I promise you, on your deathbed, you will not be thinking about the 30,000 sweaters that you owned. You will not be thinking about the jewelry that you bought. You will not be thinking about your shoes and your purses and all the shit in your house. When you're laying on your deathbed, you will be thinking about the things you experienced with your partner and your friends and your girl trips and your experiences with your kids and the time that you watched your kids ski for the first time. About sitting around the fire and making s'mores. Those things, those are the things your kids are going to think about. If you ask your children, what was your favorite Christmas gift 2 years ago? I bet they don't remember. And that's okay. We have become such a society of thinking we need to hold on to everything. That the things around us define who we are. Our homes, are they big enough? Our cars, are they expensive enough? Our purse, is it the right brand? I watched one of the Housewives episodes the other day, and all three women showed up with Birkin bags. You know, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a piece, and they have the money for them. I thought, how uninteresting. How uninteresting. And we put so much value into that. We are given the opportunity at any moment to redefine our entire lives, the way that we perceive ourselves, the way that we perceive the world around us, the way that we perceive others. We can either believe what others see in us or choose to just define ourselves by our own definitions, our own values. I love going to my friends' houses that are all decorated for Christmas. I think it's beautiful. I think there's nothing more beautiful than a Christmas tree. But that doesn't mean that I have to do it every single year, any more than they need to define themselves by my values. But I think what I'm getting at here is, do you even know what your values are? Do you know inside of self what it is that you truly want moving forward into 2026? Who are you? What are you getting rid of? What are you being gotten rid of, out of? What are you being spit out of that you're going to honor and value and cherish? Thank you for spitting me out. Thank you for being clear with me that I am not a part of your reality anymore. And that's okay. It'll sting at first because we're humans. But then, as soon as possible, jumping into the reality of gratitude, jumping into the reality of gratitude and clarity. I pray for nothing but clarity and gratitude. I am grateful. Thank you for all of everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, because I know it's all good. It's all coming at me at the exact right time. When you get rid of things, when you waste, you are opening yourself up to energetic expansion. If you have too much around you, too much clutter, it becomes overwhelming. It becomes heavy. There's too much shit in your house. It's like an overflowing toy box. And you try to shove everything down into the toy box, never truly seeing what's at the bottom of that toy box. That is life. That toy box is your life. Never truly seeing what's at the bottom. Taking it all out, taking inventory, clearing it out. Do I use this anymore? Do I need this anymore? Does this serve me anymore? Is this a good friend, a bad friend? Do I feel heavy when I leave them? Is this a good relationship? Where are we at? Do we need therapy? Where am I at in this job? Should I be looking for another one? Oh, I felt the fear coming up on some people on that one. Your life is an expression of everything around you. Holding on way too long. All of your friends, they're you. Look around your house. That's you. Every part of it is you. Overwhelmed, imbalanced, cluttered, sparse, tidy, beautiful, loving. You are expressed. You are expressed in every single thing around you. The chaos of the inside of your car, your telephone. My husband has 120,000 unread emails. Yep. Yep. I have like 4, and those 4 make me crazy. Someone just commented, Lisa just commented straight to the guts today. If you see something in your surroundings that you don't like, that you are holding on to, I'm here to tell you this right now. There is something inside of you that you do not like, that you are holding on to, that you are refusing to get rid of. Figure it out. Why am I holding on to this? Shame? Guilt? Because I'm used to it? Why do you have that thing? Why do you have that friend? Because you always have? Because it's always been that way? Because it's just there? Walk inside of every room and ask yourself, do I love this? Think about your friends. Do I have fun with them? It's all serving a purpose because everything around you is there to teach you. It's there to change you. It's there to grow you. It's there to remind you. It's there to mirror you. And so when you look around, if you don't like what you see in the mirror, change it, fix it, get rid of it, remove it. You have the freedom. You have the power. And I felt the fear come up right there. I have the power. I'm not a victim. Nope. You're an active participant. You are an active participant to all the shit in your life. Nothing happens around you without your permission. And so when it comes up, honor it. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for showing me where I still need to grow. Thank you for showing me the things I need to change. Thank you for showing me exactly what I'm doing in my life that no longer serves me. I am so grateful for the clarity. Because when we don't get rid of those things, we are stuck. And so if you are someone that is out there, that is feeling stuck, like you have no place to turn, that you're stuck in your life, start small. Go in the family room, get rid of the shit, go in your closet, clean it out, put it in trash bags, take it to Goodwill or Salvation Army or a homeless shelter or whatever it is, and start cleaning your life out. And every single thing, every negative thing that you clear out is one less brick on your shoulders that will give you the freedom to start making actual changes every single day. I promise you. Feel the guilt when you want to stop doing that thing. Feel the guilt. Feel how much those chains hold you down. That guilt right there, that shame right there is preventing you from moving forward because of programming that you should do these things because that's what good people do, and that's what good moms do, and that's what good wives do, and that's what good husbands do. And you don't like doing it because you are afraid to get rid of it because of shame and guilt and fear. But there's a whole new life on the other side. A whole life of not having to put up the goddamn Christmas decorations by yourself one more time. And instead, you get to plan something fun. You get to be light. You get to be excited. You get to be happy. Or maybe you do put up that Christmas tree, but you only put up one instead of 7. You buy one gift instead of 30. You do a Christmas gift exchange instead of buying every single niece and nephew a gift. You decide to turn down the Christmas party. You decide not to go to that lunch because it's no longer a part of who you are. But all that fear and shame and guilt, which is really fear, is preventing you from moving forward to the new friends and the new opportunities and the new life and the lightness and the weight loss and the eating healthy. When we self-sabotage through guilt and shame and fear, it infects our entire experience. It infects our entire life. We don't get to be sick and healthy at the same time. We choose every single day in every single thing that we do, and it affects every single other thing in our life. When we are a victim, we are a victim. A dog can smell it, a friend can smell it, a boss can smell it, a partner can smell it. It infects every part of our life. Waste not, want not. If you don't get rid of the things that don't serve you, you don't get to move forward. You will stay stuck. You will stay in shame. You will stay in fear. And I want so much more for you. Do it for the future you, the one that's waiting for you, the one that's begging you to put down all of those fears, begging you, inviting you, making you listen to this podcast, the friend that sent it to you, the family member that you're sending it to, the web of desire, of love, wants more for you. Happy holidays. I'm so excited for your 2026. I guess we've been in the year of the snake and we're all letting go of that old skin. It's just sloughing off of us. And so allow yourself at the end of this year to allow all the things, walk in all the rooms, go through all the things that you have, the jewelry boxes of the jewelry that you haven't worn in forever. Donate, give it as gifts this Christmas. Pass it along, white elephants. Go through all of it and ask yourself, does this light me up? Does this excite me anymore? And maybe don't get rid of it right away. Put it in a box. See if you can live without it. There's only one thing I've ever gotten rid of in my entire life that I regret getting rid of. And I've gotten rid of so much stuff. I mean, it's like my car is like autopilot to Goodwill and stuff. And that was a chair that I had as a child. And I have photographs of me in that chair when I was really, really little, but I didn't know where to put it. And it's like, where do you put a child's chair, in the house? That's the only thing that pulls at my heartstrings that I don't know if I wish I didn't get rid of, or I wish I had a photograph of, I don't know, but maybe put it in a box and see if you can live without it. But I'm so excited for all of you to step into 2026. I'm so excited about the rebranding of this podcast and going back to self, getting rid of the interviews that no longer serve me. This is all part of the process, people. This is all part of the process. Everything that you hear, everything that you're going to, all the pain that comes up, they're all a part of the process of transforming you into the next decade of your life, into the next decade of what's happening here. When you feel that gut, that stomach get nauseous, that's something that's not for you anymore. Even if it's a 2-second video that comes up, if you feel that in your gut, and I'm going to wish that for you, just scroll, move on, say no. It's okay. You'll survive. I promise. But I'm wishing you guys the very best. I might pop in one more podcast before the end of the year. So those will have to be recorded early. So if you're watching here on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, you might see me again this week. But if you're listening on Podcast World, thank you so much for listening. Share this, leave a review. It makes a huge difference to leave a 5-star review and a written review down way at the bottom. where you see those reviews. You can write one, share this with friends, makes a huge difference to getting my numbers up and getting this podcast out to more people. But thank you guys so very much for listening. I appreciate you more than you know. The reason I do this is for you. If you haven't checked out Rise Coffee, Mushroom Coffee, please go do so. You can use my 15% off Meredyth_Willits15. You can check that out, the link in my bio. Use that with the discount of 40% off right now. Stock up. I've got like 13 bags of Rise Coffee in my closet right now because I love it and I never want to be caught without it. So I hoard Rise Coffee. It's good for you. It tastes great. If you're afraid of the idea of mushroom coffee, it tastes just like your creamer plus maybe like a hazelnut. It's delicious, and I'm sure they have a great return policy. I've never had to use it, but anyways, I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks so much for listening. Have a good day. Thanks for listening. If you would like to connect on a more personal level, head over to meredythwillits.com or on Instagram at Meredyth with a Y for behind-the-scene footage and outtakes. Please subscribe and come back each week for more Meredyth with a Y.